So I have a new job and I have the site plan, and the contractor has told me what elevation he wants the first floor to be at. So this is my standard template that has all of the different stacked walls that I might use in the project. And it has my standard levels here, my fascia board levels and my roof plan and the top and the of the walls, and also the grade. So I know what the first floor level is going to be, and I generally change the color of that to red, so that when I'm working on a part of it, I know what those lines always represent the floor line. So you can see that the reference to my objects are correctly placed with reference to the first floor, because normally my grade would be at 0 and my first floor would be a little bit higher, but I know what the elevation is that the contractor wants. So I simply made sure that all of my levels were locked. If you take a look at the dimensions here, you can see that I've locked all of the relationships of the dimensions. So when I moved the levels, all of the families and components that were relative to that level also moved up. So now my first floor is at the correct proper level. But I don't want to have these as my elevation numbers. So what I need to do is find my, we'll go back to here. I find my, all right, is this it? Maybe, I don't know. No, that's just a dot on my screen. All right, we'll go to the site and there we go. So now I have my elevation here is at 0, 0. And I want my grade to be 0, 0. So I'll simply go to my section, or rather my stacked wall section that shows the families. And I need to change that to 774 and 9/16. So I'll go back to my section. Whoops, I think it's the site. Yeah. And I'll change that to from 0 to 770 feet 4 and 9/16, I think it was. And let's see what happens now. When I go back to my walls, my grade, oh, I guess I did it wrong. 770.38. All right, so let's go back to my site. 77. Yeah, okay, so I got that wrong. 770 4 and 9/16. And now let's go back and see where my grade elevation is. And now my grade's at 0. So relative to the site, which I have the topography, and relative to what the contractor told me the first floor should be set at, I start out with my grade being 0 and everything is relative to the grade. So now I have my site plan, which I've started to put in. I know the property lines, and I'm using the surveyor's site plan in order to place my points to set the various elevation contours. So I'm using a PDF instead of the DWG file because I received a PDF and not a DWG file, so it'll be a little bit more difficult to do. But what I wanted to show was how to fix your standard levels to build the house on the site relative to the elevations of the site using, let's see, yeah, it should be here. We're using, I can't see it now. We're not using the survey point. We're using the Basepoint. And just changing it. So this point right here, see how it moved that up? I'm using my project Basepoint. I've changed it to this elevation. So every distance is now relative to that base point. And that makes for a very simple solution to a project that starts out with, now I haven't started any of the project yet. This is from my template. So I have all of these components in there and I can just drag and drop them into the house as I come along. But it's possible that you've started your house design and prior to receiving the actual elevation that you need to set the house at. So simply put some dimensions in to make sure that they're all locked together. And so then when you move one of these elevations, these levels, all of the other levels move as you wanted them to be, distance-wise apart. And so I set my grade. I like my grade to start at 0. Of course, it's a sloping site, so it won't be 0 all the way around the house. But for the beginning of my new house here, it will definitely work. So anyway, that is a quick solution to the project base point. Don't do what I used to do, which is bring the site down to the elevation of the house. Just simply change the project base point to be the elevation of some known level that you want it to be, and then work from there. I like my grade to be 0, so I simply changed the value for the elevation to what it would be in order to satisfy the requirements from the contractor. Very simple solution to something that has eluded me over the years, but now I know how to do it, and I'm sharing how I do it. Hopefully that will be beneficial to somebody else.